All right, here we are in the 1988 offseason. In case you missed it, the Indiana Pacers are now back-to-back champs. Won the NBA Finals against Portland Trailblazers. MVP Patrick Ewing. So the Lakers dominated the first couple seasons. Pacers made it to the finals, lost in a hard Game 7 against the Jazz in Year 3, and then overthrew the Lakers in Season 4 in Game 7, and now only lost a few games on their way to their second championship. So here we are in the 88 offseason, where we've got the Miami Heat and Charlotte Hornets joining the league. So first time here we'll experience the expansion draft as a part of the offseason. So we'll see who gets to start up these two teams. We had a few retirements worth mentioning. So you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Dr. J, Julius Erving, who was not on a team this past season. Bill Walton from the Pacers, now retired after winning 2 championships. We had a couple coaches retire, nobody real. You got Kareem and Dr. J making the Hall of Fame. So Bill Walton did not make it, which is interesting. Both of their jerseys got retired by Philly and LA. Here are the changes. So you got the Heat and Hornets joining the league. The Warriors updated their look. And now if we were to go into a game, we'd see 3 officials, I guess, instead of 2. To my surprise, I looked up just to make sure this was real. I guess for the first season, Miami was in the Western Conference, which is really silly when you think about a map. But that's how it was. So I guess until Minnesota and Orlando join next season, then Miami's a Western Conference team. The draft lottery won't let me click it for some reason, but you can probably see it on the bottom ticker at some point. But the Nets do not get the number 1 pick in back-to-back years. I think they ended up with the second. I guess I can go into the mock draft. But you can see that the Warriors got the number 1 pick. So they were like, I think 6th was their projection, or based on the odds, it was supposed to be 6th. I ended up with the 8th because I was supposed to be a bit higher, but the Heat and Hornets, I think, by default get 4th and 5th, although in real life, I looked up, I think they're 8th and 9th. So they'll be a little better, I guess, off in the draft. And then we've got the Jazz, who were actually projected to be the first pick, only with the 6th pick. So we'll get to see the draft here pretty soon. But first, we have to get through the expansion draft. So I'm going to go ahead into here, and we get to protect up to 8 players, but we have to keep somebody available. And I was thinking about it. My 2 options are really Kevin Gamble, who I traded for, as a part of my deal to get some future firsts at the deadline last season. I'm looking over here. Unfortunately, Reggie Miller's potential is only a B-. Hopefully that'll change after his next year. I mean, he played quite a bit as a rookie and did well, so hopefully that's going to change. I've noticed they have been changing because Rodman earlier in the season showed A+. I think after his first year it showed B+ or A- or something. So it's fluctuating, which I guess affects the trade value, which is kind of neat. The other thing I could do is let Marquise Johnson be free because he has a team option. I don't know if it'll show it here. There it is. And I wonder if maybe if the Heat or Hornets draft him, they might not even pay him that, if they'd rather just have the cap space to choose their own guy. But then I probably wouldn't be able to get him back even if I tried. He's 32 now. I almost let him go last season, if you recall, but I decided, hey, I can go over the cap to get him. Why wouldn't I? He's 86 overall. And he helped me win a second championship now, so maybe I don't do that. I think Kevin Gamble probably makes the most sense. He doesn't really have a future on this team. Drazen hopefully will be able to play this season. He's showing a B potential. So he's been in the league a year longer than Reggie and is 3 worse and has more potential for some reason. So I think I'm going to let Kevin Gamble go. I'm not going to scroll through the teams because I want to be kind of surprised by who gets drafted to see who's available. So I'm letting Kevin Gamble go. Confirm. Now we go into the draft. So the Heat get Mike Mitchell. Wow, 84 overall. Otis Birdsong goes to the Hornets. John Williams from the Bullets. Al Wood, I'm not sure if he was still on the Sonics. Bedford, there's some good players getting drafted. This is surprising. I don't know if this is because there were so many one-year signings of fake people. Horace Grant, the draft pick from the Bulls. Kevin Johnson. The Heat and Hornets are going to be like good. There are rookies or former rookies being drafted. Kenny Gaddison, who actually played for the Hornets. Bowie. There's a fake guy. So there's my guy. Kevin Gamble goes to the Hornets. Looks like one of the worst people available. Duckworth. Is that it? No. I don't know if, I guess they, well, that's all of it, right? So, yeah, there are only 23 teams to pick from, so there's 23. So these rounds must just be here for future iterations of the expansion draft. So I'm going to go see the roster now after. Do you want to exit? Yes. So now we're to the actual draft. I want to go see the new teams, which, annoying enough, I think as far as I go, the Heat and Hornets now will continue to be at the end of the list instead of following in alphabetical order. Kind of silly. So, I mean, look at this. So Bedford looks like he had an option, looking up at the contract. Sally had an option. Addison had an option. And Bowie had an option. So they do have a chance to free up a couple more roster spots if they want to. But the only thing they're missing, this team does not have a point guard right now. So, hey, they've got a, what was it, 5th pick or 4th pick? They could get Rod Strickland. He's up there at the top. I forget who else. There's another good point guard, I think, in this draft as well. But Horace Grant down here, he was supposed to help MJ in Chicago, and they did make the playoffs, but got swept, I believe. A lot of centers and power forwards for the Hornets. Birdsong had a 2-year deal. I think everybody from Miami is a 1-year deal or has options. Otis, I guess the Nets decided they were paying him too much. He was still decent. Maybe they'll replace him in the draft. Alton Lister, who was on my team at some point in year 2. Well, actually in year 1, I traded for him, and he was in year 2. Kind of jumping around the league, it looks like. Williams and Winnington, who was starting for the Sixers for a little bit because Moses was hurt, I recall. Oh, I guess I only played him in a 3-game stretch where he was starting. But Kevin Johnson, who was the 8th pick, is left unprotected by the Rockets. So he will be the point guard of the future for the Hornets, it looks like. They're missing a power forward, although John Williams could play it. Norman was the 17th pick. Very interesting. Duckworth, 16th pick. So a lot of young guys on these teams. Duckworth has an option. Gaddison has an option. Williams has an option. Oldest guys, so a couple 30-year-olds on the Heat, a couple 30-year-olds on the Hornets, including this fake guy that was drafted in the middle of the first round for whatever reason last year. Okay, time to get to the draft. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with my 8th pick. It says the mock drafts say Anthony Mason, Rod Strickland, or Anthony Mason. So I guess these are updated based on who these teams actually have on their roster now. So the Heat, they are the ones I said need a point guard. So there's Rod Strickland, or Charles Smith, Chris Morris. The Hornets say Morris, Smits, or Morris. I don't think either team really needed a center, but Smits would be better than their other options. So let's go ahead and get to the draft and see what happens. Number 1 pick to the Warriors. It will not be Mitch Richmond going to Golden State. Danny Manning is the true number 1. just like in real life. So now the Nets, maybe this is why they left Otis Birdsong unprotected, so they could get Mitch Richmond to be their shooting guard for the next decade or so, joining David Robinson in New Jersey. That should be interesting to see. New York gets Rick Smits, so pretty funny that I have Patrick Ewing on the Pacers, and Rick Smits has gone to New York. It's like I'll have to change some numbers as well. So the Heat's first ever draft pick will be Rod Strickland. So they've now got a lineup, I believe. The Hornets take Charles Smith as their first pick. And the Jazz, who won 10 games, will get Hersey Hawkins. They still have Dale Griffith and Dale Ellis, who I traded them. So they're just loaned up on wings, I guess. I'm just going to pause it here to see if there's anybody still around that I should consider trading up for. So Chris Morris I don't really want. Cycli I don't need because I have Patrick Ewing. So no real reason to think about trading up. Number 7 to the Pistons. They're trading it to get Derek Smith and John Sundvold. So Sundvold, who's been in the three-point contest almost every year, I think I've done this. But they also traded Reggie Williams. It's a weird trade. So now the Suns will get Jeff Grayer, who is projected well below this pick, I believe. Okay, super weird trade. Now hopefully I'll get some trade offers. Here we go. 18 offers. Let's see what we got. 292s. One of those might be mine. I'm not sure. Protected picks here for the Bullets. Davis and Gilliam. Gilliam was the second pick last year. Trade the 8th for a second, but not sure he's worth it. First from Celtics, who are always good. Norm Nixon. I mean, Stockton will need a backup, I guess, but probably not Norm Nixon or Darwin Cook. Hersey Hawkins, who was the 6th pick. I could trade the 8th and a 2nd in a couple of years. That's not a bad deal, but I have Reggie and I have Drazen still waiting, so probably not. LaSalle wouldn't be a bad backup, but maybe not. Lakers are too good to take their picks. Mavericks, who knows? We got Greg Anderson, who was the last pick of the first round last year. A couple firsts from the Nuggets. I think one of those is mine as well. A couple firsts from the Rockets, who are decent, I believe. Although they just lost their point guard of the future, Kevin Johnson. A couple from the Spurs. Jeff Grayer, who just got picked, so they're already realizing that was a bad pick. Picks from the Sonics, the Blazers. The Heat are trying to trade a couple of their draft picks, Antoine Carr, Turpin, Hornets, Lister, and Winnington. So nothing really looking that good. Let's see who we've got here. So at point guard, Grant Smart, Michael Williams, Steve Kerr, and Avery Johnson. None of these guys were projected to be picked this high. So it's not looking like any of them. Chapman and Marley were probably projected pretty high. 12th, 14th. Those guys would make sense, but might want to trade back and see if I can get something. Chris Morris has been skipped over a couple times, but I don't really think I want him at the 8th pick. Anthony Mason would be pretty good. That's the position where I've signed recently with Tom Chambers and Larry Nance for a season. It would take him a little while to be good enough to play. Get me Anthony Mason with Derek Harper and Patrick Ewing. I'm just like building the early to mid 90s Knicks on the Pacers, which is weird. Cycli should be picked around here. He wouldn't really play enough on this team for that to make sense. So I'm wondering if I should trade back and see if I can get somebody and also pick up a pick. So like that. That gives me an extra first round pick. But oh no, that's Reggie Miller. Oh god, no. I thought I thought it would just try the 8th. I might have to like manually do it. So that's my next year's pick. I'm trying to just move back a little bit and hoping that that's 2 this year. I don't need that. I'm hoping they'll like put the 8th up there at some point. It should be smart enough to realize that's the one I want to pick, but it doesn't look like it is. Might have to do it manually, unfortunately. Let's see what I can do. Can't do the Mavericks. So the 11th wasn't looking too bad. If I look at who's available, whoops, I go to choose who I would possibly want. So Mason's an option, but he might get picked. Unfortunately, shooting guard's a position I already have a lot of depth at. Marley could play small forward. I could get Starks too. Once I simulate the score, can you go back and preview the game? No, you can't like see replays or anything if that's what you mean. Or even, I don't think you could see like the play-by-play unless you do Simcast. You can only see like the stats of the game and that's it. Brian Shaw would be a decent like third point guard. Avery Johnson would be a good like future backup point guard. Maybe I aim for like the 15th pick and see what's there. Alright, who had the 15th? The Hawks. Let's just start with that. That's actually not a bad pick, or bad trade. Trading my next year pick. But I'd rather trade that, go down 7, and maybe pick up a future first. I mean, why not try for a couple and see what happens, I guess. 90 and 92. Okay, whoops. Do they have any players I want? It's something to look at. They only have 3 guys under contract, so no. I have seconds. I have one next year, 90 and 91. Well, let's just do that. Oh, this might be a trade. Can't watch the game either or control the team. Not after the game is over. I'm not sure I'm understanding your question. Oh, come on. I thought that would be a trade. Hawks, 15th. What if I put both of them on there? No? Okay, let's try somebody else. 14th, where's that at? Suns. What if I do both? No. So that's 2 stars, so that's not looking promising for me. Wow. I didn't think that that would be a problem. Huh. I mean, I could, I guess, trade another second. These are the Jazz seconds, though, and they're terrible. I was thinking that that might actually be worth holding on to. Let's try that with the Hawks, since that was 1 less star. I could also throw in one of my other firsts, I guess, if I want it that bad. What if I like, oh, I was trying to protect that, but I guess not. First, and now that second. Maybe? Wow. I thought star and a half that might work. Well, hey, Santa. I feel like you'd be too busy to talk right now. Okay, so I tried 15th and 14th. is the 13th. The Bulls, they won't even like entertain it. Okay. Well, this is getting harder than I thought it should be. Clippers. Can I add that? No. Okay. That's also 2 stars, so probably won't work. 8th. I'm probably going to have to trade 2 seconds, which is fine. I didn't think I would have to. So that, what's that, the 12th? Is that what I said? Alright, let's trade this second, I guess. 2 seconds. Trade down. Oh, it's not working. Alright, so I guess I go back to the Hawks. I think it should work for the Hawks. It shouldn't take 3 seconds. It might, though. So it's that one, for that one. There we go. Okay. So traded back like 7 picks. The Hawks wanted Tim Perry, so they got him. They have Arvydas Sabonis and Kevin Willis, so that's kind of an interesting pick. We have the 9th pick getting traded. So a future first and a future second for the 9th pick. And it's top 10 protected, so that's kind of silly. Although, I guess it might be a good pick in 1990 because the Knicks have been pretty terrible. So the Bullets wanted Chris Morris, who was supposed to go like 5th or 6th. We have the Bucks getting Willie Anderson. The Spurs go with Anthony Mason. The Clippers, Ronnie Cycli. Grant Long to the Bulls, so they replace Horace Grant, who went to the expansion draft. And Rex Chapman to the Suns, who he did play for at some point in his career. And now I'm back on the clock, and I get more trade offers. Yes, I do want to see them, thank you. If there's nobody I want, I might just trade these again for future picks. There's Grant Long, who was just picked 2 picks ago. I can get for free. I can still get last year's number 2 pick. Does he like not have potential, I guess? B minus, so not looking great. But he had a good season. Averaging 13 and 12 per 36, shot 49%. I mean, it's kind of the position I need historically. Oh my, Ronnie Cycli still is the 12th pick I could get. That wouldn't happen, though. I mean, technically they'd save some money, I guess, by trading it, but I would have to give like a second rounder or something. Percy Hawkins is the 6th pick, but that gives me, I have to trade another first. The Kings have been really bad. Lakers, no thank you. The Nets, well, they have David Robinson and now Mitch Richmond, so they're not going to be bad for long, I wouldn't think. Rockets, Spurs. Sonics have been decent. Blazers were just in the finals. Warriors just had the number 1 pick. Got Danny Manning. And Alton Lister again. So let's go see who's available. So at point guard, we've got Avery Johnson, who I was considering. 15th seems a little high for him, but 2 of them do have him projected at 16th, so could be. Shooting guard, we've got Dan Marley there. He's super interesting, but again, not sure how he'd play on my team as currently constructed unless I trade somebody. Small forward's a really weak position in this draft. Power forwards have all gone because Mason and Grant Long got picked. No centers except for Andrew Lang, which I don't want. So Marley, Avery Johnson, who wouldn't play because he's 68 overall, so he'd be like my emergency point guard for probably 2 seasons, I would think, till he gets better. Or I trade it for a future pick. What if I pair it with my pick next year, which I definitely won't need, and get 2 firsts maybe, or a player. Probably not Willie Anderson. That's a swap that is not good for me. Gilliam again. Norm Nixon, Hersey, LaSalle. I do need a replacement for Bill Walton as my backup center. I don't know that it'll be LaSalle. Maybe. 2 picks. Well, I think the way that works, it throws it up there because I'm getting the 90 top 10, and therefore if it doesn't happen, I get the 91. It's kind of deceiving. Nuggets, Rockets, Spurs. The Spurs have Chris Mullin as like a superstar now. Blazers. If the Heat and Hornets were willing to trade their picks, then maybe, but they're not. They want to get rid of some players they just drafted. So, do I use it on Marley or Johnson? Probably not Marley. I think Johnson would make more sense because he can kind of sit at the end of the bench till he's ready. Either that or I trade back again. 17th somewhere. Oh, come on. Okay. The Celtics were offering something, weren't they? Just not this year's. 17th. It's not going to help me much, is it? What if you give me like all your seconds? And you can move up 2 picks. Oh. Okay. There you go. And you get Dead Marley. Fine. Gary Grant. So I just gained like 3 future seconds to possibly still get Avery Johnson. Who should have been drafted by now? I have the 17th. So it says Dwayne Farrell. Oh, I forgot about Vernon Maxwell. He could be a 3rd point guard as well. Kevin Edwards plays some point guard. I think Avery's going to be the pick. Let's do it. All right, Harvey Grant to the Sonics. We have another trade for the 19th pick, Alton Lister. So Hornets are getting back in the draft to get John Starks. All right. So they got, was it Charles Smith and John Starks, former future Knicks. Michael Williams joins David Robinson and Mitch Richmond on that team of the future. Farrell to the Sixers. Another trade here at the end of the first. Grant Long. So the Bulls just drafted Grant Long with like a pretty high pick. Wasn't it like 12th or something? And they're trading him for the 22nd and a 2nd to get a fake guy. Well, the Bulls are really stupid in this, evidently. Brian Shaw and the Lakers. The Blazers get Tom Tolbert, and the last pick of the first round is a fake guy to the Bucks. So I don't have a 2nd rounder, I don't believe. Vernon Maxwell to the Jazz, Kevin Edwards to the Nets. Fake, fake, fake. Winston Bennett to the Nets. How many picks do the Nets have? Fake guy. Steve Kerr goes to the Hawks. Keith Smart to the Bucks. I'm going to see if there's anybody left. How can I see just who's not drafted? Is that not a thing? I guess not, unless I'm actually picking. So no point guards. Benny Del Negro is still there. Mark Bryant is still there. Will Perdue and Andrew Lang are still there. I mean, getting like a Will Perdue to be a third center. If I could trade, can I trade one of my future seconds? I need some depth because almost all my guys are free agents. Can I trade one of those seconds I just got? Oh, I need to do it the other way. So it's the Warriors, Sixers, Suns. Let's go to the Warriors. Whose pick is that? 89, that's next year's Boston. I will gladly do that, because that's going to be probably worse than this one. And then I will... Oh my gosh, getting trade offers for this thing. This is the 11th. I mean, if I can move back like one or two, then there's a fake guy, no thanks. Winston Bennett, who was drafted a couple picks ago. That can move me back two. And I could get either Lang or, well, if it was an extra second, then I would think about it. Okay, so no thank you. Choose prospect. I think Will Perdue. It says he has a ceiling as a starter. I guess it says that for all these guys. Let's go to this. Inside D, A minus, rebounding A minus. So I think Will Perdue is going to come to the team. He's also 72 overall, it says. All right, so Dean Garrett goes to the Sixers. Fake guy, fake guy. Hopefully all the real guys get drafted. Celtics get Andrew Lang. Vinny Del Negro goes to the Nuggets. None of these guys get signed, though, immediately. They sign in the free agency sometimes. Mark Bryant to the Nuggets as well. Is there anybody real left? Might have been everybody. All right, there we go. Gotta fix some numbers later, but I'll do that after the offseason's done, because I don't think Rick Smits is going to be number 51. All right, rookie signing. I am going to go ahead and sign Purdue, although nobody else signs second rounders for whatever reason, no matter how good they are. I'm going to go ahead and do it so I don't have to worry about it in free agency. Boom. Options, yes please. Oh, wow. I was thinking it wouldn't want me to give Marquise this option. I was thinking he would want less than 1.32 because I overpaid him last year to make sure he came back to the team late in the free agency. I definitely would say the other three guys are worth it. Marquise, if I do this, he's trade eligible immediately. If I decline it and then sign him to a new deal, I have to wait to trade him. So I think this probably does make the most sense. He's 86 overall still, which is just, I thought he would go down by now, but he's been hovering around this overall. All right, I'm going to accept. We'll see if anybody got declined. There were some weird rookies last year. Oh my gosh, Xavier McDaniel, who's been averaging 22 points a game, is 80 overall. Why are they declining this? I don't understand what happens. Johnny Dawkins also got declined. He was the 5th pick. This is just weird. What are they doing? William Bedford, who was... So the Heat are saving... I want to go see the Hornets and Heat. So they declined, it looks like, most of them. Hornets, they did accept John Williams, but they declined Gaddis and Duckworth. The Heat declined all of the guys they drafted with options. So they will have a little extra money to play with. Huh. Okay. Qualifying offers, yes, John Stockton will be a priority. I will be able to match anything on him. I don't know about Spud Webb. He could potentially be my backup point guard now, I guess. I don't really have a backup point guard, though, because Derek Harper plays those minutes as my starting shooting guard. But if Marquise gets traded, things might change as well. 280. Can I see my... I'm over the cap already, it says. Well, I can always decline it later. Alright. Holy moly, Hakeem Olajuwon. Getting offered by everybody, but the Blazers have the ability to match, so I imagine that will happen. Everybody's going after him first, so the most money I can offer is the minimum. Oh boy. Kevin McHale. Wow. Celtics and Lakers. Please don't go to the Lakers, McHale. Kiki, probably going back to the Nuggets. Barkley's restricted. Willis is restricted. Mark Aguirre, staying with the Mavericks. Sydney, the Hawks are trying to steal him from the Bucks. Jordan, the Bulls have not offered him, but I would imagine they'll match any offer he gets. Point guard Isaiah might go to the Rockets. We'll see if he accepts that over the Pistons. I need to decide if I just go ahead and offer Stockton or wait for him to accept something else. I'd probably just go ahead and offer him. I can't sign anybody anyway, so. Alright, any cap holds I can get rid of. People I'm not going to re-sign. Bobby Jones, no thanks. Nance, the minimums don't really matter anyway. I don't have bird rights to these people, so. Alright, on my team, here we go. We need to get Stockton back. We've got Derek Harper still. The starting lineup is still intact once I get Stockton back. And then once I have him, I have a backup at every position except power forward, which Rodman kind of will play both of those. He could be my new sixth man instead of Nance. Need probably a true backup center. Purdue could do it, I suppose. But really don't need much of anything. I guess I could go ahead and see what Marquise Johnson gets me. Just for fun, mostly. I don't know why it says I still have a second round pick I'm trading. Maybe I need to simulate a day or something. Let's go ahead and give Stockton an offer. It says 1.8, but he'll take less. Maybe he'll take that. That looks very close. Might be, I think it has to be 86% interest to get signed. That might be an 87 there. Let's try it. Yep. 88. I was off a little bit. Alright. Affordable wise, there's some guys that'll take the minimum. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for my backup center. Get somebody that will take the minimum. Which I could also keep it. I'll keep one roster spot open to see who's in the free agent list after the offseason. So I'll probably just go a few days because none of these guys I can do anything about. So let's go ahead and do that. Day one, Johnny has decided to sign with the Pacers. Thank you, John. Let's go see. So Olajuwon's matched. Isaiah did sign with the Rockets. Wow. Well, the Pistons never really got over the hump. Aguirre stayed. Moncrief jumps to the Hawks. Bobby Jones randomly signs with the Cavs. What a random signing. Okay. Now, the fun of Moses Malone probably staying with the Sixers. Mikhail, please, seriously, don't go to the Lakers. Bernard King now getting offers from the Cavs and Knicks. Everybody's trying to steal Michael Jordan, but the Bulls will match, I would surely hope. Mo Cheeks missed. Did he end up getting signed last year? Okay, he did. He was a free agent after the offseason, but then signed with the Kings. Now looks to be going to the Suns. Brad Davis possibly to the Celtics. Ceasing to the Clippers. Larry Drew. He was the Pistons' backup point guard, so they might lose Thomas and Drew. Alright, now can I do a trade finder for Marquise? There we go. Ron Harper, who just won the 6th Man of the Year. That would save me some money. Purvis Short. Kenny Smith, Dale Ellis, who I traded them last season. AC and Muggsy, a couple young guys. Muggsy could be my backup point guard. AC, I really would need a backup center. Don't want to trade a first with Brad Daugherty. That's the number 3 pick of 2 years ago. And 4 stars, but they're wanting Drazen too. Daugherty would not play like at all in this team because I have Patrick Ewing. So McKee, that's a very good defender. The 6th pick last year and had a pretty good rookie year. And then Kevin Johnson and John Williams. So that would make the Hornets a little better if I gave them Marquise. So I still have this pick as well. What would that do for me? Change anything? Joe Barry Carroll, Bill Cartwright, same people, pretty much. Bill Laimbeer. So Pistons are just throwing in the towel now that Isaiah's leaving them. Bring Chuck Person to the Pacers. All right. Well, I guess I could go ahead and start looking for my minimum players because nobody else will sign with me. I have Purdue there. A power forward would be good. Greenwood 78. I'm not sure. He was not on the team last year or the year before. So he's just been sitting on the free agent list. He's still 78 overall, though. John Sally, who just got cut by, or not, his team option was not picked up by one of the expansion teams. I really got to figure out what I'm doing with Marquise Johnson because he's kind of holding up the progression of Reggie and Petrovic. Although I could say Harper's doing that too. It's just hard to trade. Harper I would want to trade more, but he was the Finals MVP 2 years ago, so it's kind of random. I'm just going to go another day here. I guess whatever that means, decline, okay. Barkley's now getting a bunch of offers. Wait, did anybody else? Moses back to the Sixers. The Bulls did not match Michael Jordan's offer. What is happening? What is happening? He signed with the freaking Heat, and the Bulls let him go. Oh my gosh. Also, why does that say 1.1? I just gave him a 5-year deal. What? That was his qualifying offer. Unless I clicked decline on the wrong thing. But now I can't see that, I don't think. Match. There's no other option. What the heck? I don't want to match. It's my own team. I can't unclick anything. Let's go see what Johnny's contract is now. It says 1.15. What is happening? It was a 5-year deal. Is like he's choosing that over my offer? Is that what happened? I'm really confused. Why would it do a 1-year deal when I gave him a 5-year deal? I feel like that happened before with somebody too. That's pretty stupid. Okay. The other thing I could do is see what Derek Harper gets me, because position-wise, he makes more sense to trade. There's only 4 offers there. If I trade both, can I get somebody really good? Jim Paxson and Ron Harper. Bulls are just going crazy, getting rid of all their people. Darrell Griffith. Iceman. He's 36, though. English is 34. Ron Harper is 2 years younger than Derek. I'm really confused by that. I'm thrown off by this John Stockton thing. It says no trade clause, yes. I didn't sign him to a 1-year deal, though. He wanted that, so maybe he wanted 1 year for 1.15 more than what I offered him for 5 years? In that case, it should show me that that's what he wanted more. Oh, okay, whatever. Alright, Ralph Sampson, probably going back to the Rockets. Kevin Willis, I don't see the Hawks on here. Oh, they're like lowballing him. They're also offering Otis Thorpe. Eddie possibly going back to the Cavs. Andrew Toney, the Sonics. Mo Cheeks didn't get signed by was it the Suns before? Hornets are offering him. Alright, I need to find some people for the minimum. Who was that? Rory Sparrow. So backup point guard that could potentially play if called upon. John Paxson. Vern Fleming's down here. John Paxson didn't look too bad. He's got 26 badges too. Ah, he's not low enough. I thought maybe 247 was close enough to the minimum. Because Sparrow would take it. He's 245, but he's also 3 years older. Gerald Henderson's going to go down because he's 34 years old. Sadell 3 would take it. Spud Webb is not interested in negotiating with the Pacers. Well, he has a qualifying offer, so he kind of has to. Okay. Alright, shooting guard is not a position I need. Small forward. I have Rodman and right now Marquise still. Looking for people that will accept little money. Rambus I've already had on my team at one point. Harry Catledge. Has he been able to play? He did play a little bit. He wouldn't be too bad for the team. Sure. Well, he jumps. Where'd he go? Where did he go? Terry Catledge. I'm wondering, will he take 2 years? No. Okay, we'll do one. Did I look at who else signed? I'm totally thrown off by Michael Jordan not getting matched. There were some really, really weird things happening. I need a center that could actually play, but I really am curious how many of these guys will be left over, because that could be what I sign after the offseason. So I've got Stockton. Harper plays the backup point guard minutes. Then I've got Avery as the third. We've got Harper, Miller, and Petrovic. And then Marquise, Rodman. I just offered Catledge. So another forward would be good, especially if I potentially trade Marquise. Let's offer another forward. Maybe somebody with some badges that can help out the young guys. Who has the badges? That guy had 8. Hot Rod. What? That's the most improved player. Hot Rod didn't get. He didn't get his 4th year picked up. What is happening in this league? So confused. I assume he wanted too much money for me. Yes. Way too much. Alright, well, do centers have badges? I guess I could just... Danny Shays has 8. Kaminsky has 8. 7 for Brewer. Alvin Adams is... Some of these guys are a little too old. They're going to go down too much. Duckworth will take the minimum. He's 24 years old. He was the 16th pick. Hasn't really gotten a chance to play. But I probably need, since I have Purdue, I need an older guy. That would make more sense. There's 6 badges. Sidney Green. Jeff Turner. 13 for Mahorn. He won't take the minimum. He didn't play last year. I think he was on the free agent list the whole time. Greenwood. That could make some sense. After not playing, he's going to go down probably 2 or 3 overall. Danny Vrains has 11 badges. He hasn't played for 2 seasons either. Robert Reed's already been on my team before. 9 badges for Tyrone Corbin, who's also already been on my team before. Kevin Edwards probably won't take the minimum for some reason. Same with him. Or Hornacek and, is it Del Curry still here? Yep, there's Del. Does he have potential still after not playing for 2 seasons, pretty much? B. Some of these guys are getting ruined just sitting on the free agent list. There's Hornacek. He says B plus at least. There's a 9 badges. Stansbury. 22 for Walter Davis. TR Dunn. He's 33, 77 overall. That is a position I don't necessarily need, but he also can play point guard. He's a super good defender. That's an interesting one. He might be able to help Stockton still. If not, he can help Avery Johnson. I think that's what I'll do, because these other guys aren't looking as attractive. McMillan wants way too much money. I think I'll go just let Spud Webb do his own thing. Let's get TR. Whoops. I was seeing he will take a 2-year deal. This is again thinking there's an expansion draft coming in the next offseason, so let's do a team option. And that way I have some options as well for the Magic and Wolves when they join the league. Let's go let Spud Webb out of this. Catledge and Dunn still thinking about it. So once I have those guys, so Dunn becomes my 6th guard, Catledge. I still need a power forward and then one more guy. I'm thinking Greenwood was looking pretty good with his... Oh, and there's 4 badges? I thought he had more than that. Oops. Must have been looking at the guy above him who had 9. Shays, he could kind of do the Bill Walton role. Similar type of... He doesn't have to score a lot and he gets rebounds. He does have 8 badges. The chances of somebody... Is Larry Nance going somewhere? Yep. The chances of somebody good being there, maybe a power forward. I don't know, they're similar. Overall, better power forwards probably. So let's get Shays. Kaminsky has 8 badges too. Not as good a rebounder. Let's go with Danny Shays. He will not take a team option. He would take a 2-year deal. Let's not do that. All right. Shays is signing immediately. Let's see, Woolridge. The Heat are big players. Heat and Hornets are big players in free agency, I guess, which makes sense. They've got the money. Hopefully Joe Dumars. Maybe they'll replace Michael Jordan with Joe Dumars. McDaniel going to get signed? Doesn't really look like it. I'm going to keep going. Make sure my guys have one offer still. There's Catledge. And there's Dunn. Still didn't sign. Come on, guys. Hopefully somebody signs Joe Dumars this year. Catledge. Dunn. There we go. All right. Catledge and Dunn joining the Pacers. Now I think I have one more spot to fill. We've got 6 guards. We need another forward. Probably, if I trade Johnson, it needs to be a small forward. also trade Harper. Or I trade nobody and just let this play out another season and see if we can three-peat with relatively the same roster. See if the offers have changed at all since free agency's happened a little bit. Doc Rivers. Marquise looks to get me a little bit more. 2 firsts from the Nets. See, like something like that doesn't sound... Ooh. Ooh, Chuck Person and a first. Isn't that... I think that's what I was offered in the season as well. The Heat potentially trading Mike Mitchell. I think they offered something like this in the season. They did sign Isaiah. They've got Old Man Gervin. So that was 1990, so it's the year after next. So George will probably be retired, or at least bad enough to not really matter for the team. Sampson's still super good, better than he was at this point in real life. Isaiah had like a catastrophic knee or ankle injury or something, so he might not be as good as he would be otherwise. But they'll also be better because I'm giving them Marquise Johnson, but he's getting older. But Chuck Person, starting every game. He still has another season left after this one. He was a first-team All-Rookie. His potential says B+. Why wouldn't I do this? I guess the Rockets are in like win now mode. Get some. It's either that or I wait to see if there are better offers in the season for Marquise. Maybe based on how people are doing, or if I want to give Rodman the starting job. Ooh. I haven't really freed up minutes for anybody. Walton retired. That really just gets replaced by Shays because it's like 12 minutes. Avery's taking the role that pretty much Danny Ainge played, or more T.R. Dunn's taking Danny Ainge's role. Avery's my new Spud Webb. How is this going to make... Johnson won't have to play as much. I guess there's that. Ugh. I was thinking I would need to trade somebody, but... Do this again. Jim Paxson. Iceman and Person. That Ron Harper doesn't really help me free up anything. That's terrible. Byron Scott. Do all three? Does that do anything for me? That's Karl Malone. He's only 3 stars for some reason. But Kellogg, Kellogg's 4 or 5 better than him. And I still want him to be a part of the team. This is tough. It's hard to let go of guys that have been a part of a finals repeat team. These top 6 have been a part of both of them. But I'm trying to get Miller in to some more minutes and Drazen into the rotation. So maybe I just wait to see in the middle of the season how it looks. So I still need to sign a forward. That's what it's sounding like. Power forward, small forward type guy. Sam Mitchell won't take it. Look down here for any undrafted guys. Donald Royal. Fields. I mean, you could bring Corbin back. He's still young. I ended up trading him just because I could get a first-round pick for him, I think is what I did. Reed's still decent. Henson, okay, he's 3 stars. That's kind of the type of player I need. Small forward, power forward. Let's go with Roy Henson. He's missed the last 2 seasons as well. Hopefully with these 2 new expansion teams, there won't be as many real guys on the free agent list. I'm actually going to wait till later on and see if I can get an option for some of these guys. So let's go. Let's go. Joe Dumar's getting signed yet? 54. 61. Come on, guys. Shell out your money. 66. 72. Nobody's got enough money to offer, it looks like. Hopefully the salary cap will increase here pretty soon. Free up some offers. So it's a power forward and small forward I'm missing. It's the power forward that would possibly be playing. There's Henson now at the top. So I guess that's what I do. Will he take a team option now? No. Okay. 1-year deal for you. Can he please get signed? Henson signs. None of these guys are going to get signed, it looks like. Make sure I have 14 players, because otherwise it will assign somebody to my team randomly. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Was that on him when I signed him? Why is his knee sore after free agency? They injured July 27th. What? What'd he do? Fall at home? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Wow. Okay, let's look at some player progression. Alright, Ewing did not go up anymore. Wow. He won Defensive Player of the Year, got Finals MVP. He did go up in some things. Stamina actually went down. Clark Kellogg went down in some, but up in some others. So thankfully he stayed the same. Stockton stayed the same. I thought he'd be going up. I guess it's a very similar year to what he had last year, but he shot better from 3-point. Didn't get better at those. His passing's already like perfect. His stamina went down as well. Marquise, I assumed, would go down. He went down 1, but still has 34 badges. Derek Harper, I did not expect to go down, but he was already really good and only gets 14 points on this team. Hopefully his defense is still good. It's still, yes. He didn't really go down in much of anything. I'm surprised he went down. Rodman's going up. His defensive consistency is 85. His rebound's almost perfect. His defense is amazing. Ooh, it's going to be hard not to start him. I'm probably going to have to look at trades a little more seriously. Reggie's up to 80. That's awesome. Petrovic went up 3 as well. 3-pointers. Drossen's 99. Reggie's 90. Reggie went up at like everything. Well, his potential says B instead of B minus now, so we'll see what happens. Roy Henson didn't go down. Shays didn't go down. T.R. Dunn did go down too, but expected that. College Purdue, well, rookies wouldn't go up. It's funny that my guy I drafted the 17th pick is 4 worse than the guy I drafted in the middle of the second round. Let's go through the league here and see what big changes happen. The Pistons have 6 people under contract. So again, they will fill out with free agents. I've never understood why they don't actually use their money. So they have $2.67 million left, and they didn't use it on any of those free agents out there. But they'll sign a bunch of people as we enter the season, so we'll see what happens. Isaiah did go down 1. The Spurs have 4 players. Mullen didn't go up anymore after averaging 25 points or something crazy. Yeah. Okay. Suns, Scottie Pippen up 4, so he'll be looking to have a good sophomore season. No big changes there. They got Andrew Toney. Drexler up 1. Olajuwon stayed at 95. Dantley's down 1. There's Danny Manning as their new power forward. So they don't have a center, looks like. There's Michael Jordan on the Miami Heat. So he's on the team that kind of, retired his number even though he never played for them. So Horace Grant gets drafted in the expansion draft, leaves the Bulls, and Jordan follows him. And the Bulls don't match. I don't know that I'll ever understand that. So they still don't have a point guard. Do they even have one on their team? Oh yeah, they drafted Rod Strickland. Okay, well, he'll be playing lots as a starter. This team might actually be decent for a year 1 expansion team. Hornets. They ended up signing Woolridge, so he'll be a good scorer for them. That looks like their starting lineup there. Not bad. They've got mostly a veteran lineup and then a rookie, Charles Smith. Got Kevin Johnson backing up Mo Cheeks. Pretty good. They're ready for the future. Moses went down a couple. They signed Larry Nance. So he wins a title with the Pacers. And now he's going to go start for Philly in the post. Well, Dr. J was already off the team last year. Otis Thorpe signed with the Bucks, leaving the Rockets after his rookie contract. So that means the Rockets did not match his offer. He becomes their best player because Moncrief is on the Hawks. Barkley get back to the Bullets, did not go up. He had his best year. Well, rebounds were down, but points were up. They don't have McDaniel anymore. The Bulls did end up getting Joe Dumars. Cool. Replacing MJ. Cavs did re-sign Armin, or no, they were trying to trade him to me, that's right. That team still looks mediocre. Celtics drafted Dan Marley, otherwise are the same, so thankfully McHale did not jump ship to the Lakers. We got the Clippers. Karl Malone went up 1. What's his potential say now? B+. We're hoping that will change still. We'll see. Might be that he's stuck with Terry Cummings scoring the ball too much. Moncrief joins the Hawks. They don't have Kevin Willis, it looks like. Jazz didn't do anything. Kings didn't do anything. The Knicks got Bernard King back. Muggsy went up 4. So they drafted Rick Smits, so he'll be their starting center, it looks like. Lakers signed Kevin Willis, so they will continue to be good. They also got Rodney McRae. I guess Brian Shaw's their shooting guard right now, but we'll see if they sign somebody. Abdul-Jabbar retired, so Manute Bul's now their center. Kind of cool. There's the Nets. Robinson went up 4. Wow. All right. So we advance that. We skip the Summer League. Let's look to see where the 1989 All-Star Game was. It was... I don't want... Whoops. I don't want that to exist. I thought I deleted that. 1989 All-Star Game was in Houston, not Chicago. Continue. I've not started a new 89 draft class, so I will get to work on that probably by the next time I go live, I would imagine. So we'll use the original one, see who's in here. So we got Tim Hardaway, Blue Edwards, Glenn Rice, Danny Ferry, Sean Elliott, Cliff Robinson, Sean Kemp, Stacey King, Vlade Divac, David West, Dino Raja. So they have this freaking USA World, but they don't even put the right guys on the right side. Raja should have World. Meanwhile, you've got George McLeod over here, Nick Anderson, Dana Barros, J.R. Reed, Purvis Ellison, Tom Hammonds, Randy White, Greg Grant, and Kenny Battle. Timmy went crazy, 33 points. Now advance. All right. So let's go see who got signed by whom. So the Pistons, who had what, like these top 6 players, they signed a bunch of fake people. So again, why? Why would they not spend their money on real people that are in the free agent list? I don't understand the AI approach in this game. The Rockets also signed a bunch of fake people. The Spurs, oh my God, I don't get it. So all these real people get stuck on the free agent list because they're spending their money on fake people for the minimum. I was hoping the expansion teams would kind of fix that because you got 2 more teams in the mix, but it seems not. So I'm not really seeing much difference on any of these teams. Nope. Although I don't think Jeff Turner was on a team. So it could be that teams that are contending, that can get people to sign for the minimum, can fill their teams with real people, which is what I'm going to go look to see who's there, because it seems like a lot of people will still be there based on the looks of these teams. Doesn't make me very happy. So I'm guessing they'll see, like the Celtics filled out their team with real people. I'm guessing the Lakers did too, which is kind of scary to think about. The Hawks, everybody's going down for some reason. Alright, who'd they get? They already had Thurl Bailey. Okay, not super great people. But Kevin Willis is a big addition. He's a better overall than what Kareem was last season. Minute's down for some reason. Interesting to see what Richmond and Robinson can do in New Jersey. Nuggets got Larry Drew, who's better than Doc Rivers. Alright, so I need... Well, I guess I'll just see who's out there, but... Rodman, I'd like to play the minutes Nance was playing before. Reggie's going to play a few more. as well. Probably play some small forward. Marquise is going to play less. Let's go see who's here. So McDaniel did not get signed. Let's go by position. Point guards, don't really need one. But if I did, John Bagley gets assists. Michael Adams probably has potential still. Oh, B minus. Shooting guard. Okay, so there aren't as many people as I thought. The fact that I can see fake people at the bottom makes me feel a little better about how many people are left behind. But poor Jeff Hornacek doesn't get to play a game in his career. He's going on 3 years straight now. Vernon. McDaniel would be interesting, especially if I trade Marquise. If I could trade Marquise and fill him with somebody like McDaniel, who's 7 years younger, for a minimum contract, hard to beat that. Oh, Sam Perkins. That is the position I avoided. Sam Perkins might be the winner. He was the 5th pick, shot well. I think Sam Perkins. Yeah, I didn't get a third power forward, so I think that's going to make sense. We'll go ahead and sign him up. He's willing to do business for the minimum. Boom. Alright, last thing I'll look at before ending this video is the power rankings to see, hopefully, well, Lakers are first on that one. Pacers are second. Lakers and Pacers. Celtics, Lakers, Sixers, Pacers. So this one always goes by like franchise success, not necessarily recent. So there we go, 4th. There we are. So quick look at, it won't have the teams in order. What picks do I have? I have the Jazz, my own, and then the Warriors top 10. And they just got Danny Manning. So Jazz have been pretty terrible. I don't think they're going to be much better. So there's some of the top guys I could get. Ooh, Rice and Kemp. Superstars available. Rice, Kemp, Tim Hardaway, Sean Elliott. There's some good guys coming into the league in 1989. It's exciting. Every year brings a new mix of guys. So, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Next time we'll kick off the 88-89 season, see if the Pacers can three-peat, and hopefully I'll have at least the draft class started, if not finished by then. So, till then, Shoeshak Redemption's out.